Hi, I'm Kamala Harris, and I encourage you to vote for Paul Henderson. He is a homegrown son of San Francisco, born in Bayview Hunters Point. He has worked tirelessly as a public servant. I've known him for a very long time, and he will be extraordinary as an elected leader. So please support Paul Henderson. Thank you.
I'm an African American man that grew up here in San Francisco. I've been arrested 8 times. Those are real experiences. I haven't committed the crimes that I was arrested for, but those were my real experiences growing up. All throughout my career, those are just realities that I understand how the criminal justice system works. My name is Paul Henderson. I'm a 4th generation San Franciscan native. I'm seeking the position of San Francisco Superior Court Judge, seat number 7. From seeing the experiences of my mother, people would be ringing the doorbell or coming by and calling all the time with problems, and I had a very clear sense of what that job looked like, at least in relationship to the community. And it wasn't until I went to school that I realized how important the role could be of being a lawyer, of being an advocate, and how that could be used to leverage and influence and improve communities. When I sat down and spoke with my family and let them know that I was interested in prosecution, well, let's just say nobody clapped for me. So while I was a prosecutor, and I was a prosecutor for over 17 years in every role possible.
Joining me now is veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson.
I spent the longest period of time as a trial attorney, and obviously I served in the management capacity and ultimately served as chief administrator in that office as well. But I'm most proud of the programs and the policies that I've developed in those roles that have had a lasting impact on the community of San Francisco.
Because you actually brought a holistic model to juvenile justice reform by being collaborative and helping to develop collaborative courts, such as our juvenile drug court. And that morphed into another collaborative court, which was our family violence court, which still exists today.
The neighborhood that I grew up in, the community that I was connected to, the Bayview Hunters Point community, was very different than the rest of the city. I had a really clear sense that things happened to my community rather than for my community. And that's what drove me to try and be successful through education, to try and make a difference, not just for me and for my family, but for the community as well. The only way that we eliminate or address the bias that is built into our justice system is by having everyone at the table. And I think that's really hard to do when you have any side or either side not represent the full spectrum of the community that it's designed to serve.
Within community, especially communities of color and the remaining population of African American folks in San Francisco, the idea and notion of law enforcement a lot of times is negative, and being able to show community that their voice can matter on the other side of law enforcement and the importance of them being there. Paul has represented that perspective of what it is to grow up disadvantaged, and how you can overcome, and then once you do that, you give back, right? And you make sure that other people can overcome too.
Judges set the tone of what happens in a courtroom. They are there to call the balls and the strikes during the trials. They are there to facilitate the juries in coming to a decision. But I think it's absolutely important when juries walk into a courtroom that they see people on the bench that look like them.
One young lady said, she's growing up in public housing, and she was like, you know what, I'm going to be the first Samoan American district attorney because they need to know my experiences, and I think Paul helped her see that, right? So it's easy to be like, negative and complain about people, but to be like, I'm going to be the person on that side to change it is what I think Paul represents.
That's part of the reason why I want to be a judge. I want people to have that experience when they have jury duty, when they've been charged with a crime, when they are in the middle of some sort of lawsuit, to understand that appearing in my courtroom, they will have a broader understanding about what the process is and what the outcomes will be because of my presence there.